What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. I will be attending the RapsCon and Raps VIP event in Long Beach, California, August 2nd through the 4th. I will be in Long Beach throughout the whole week, so if you're interested to sit down with me throughout the event, please send me an email. Head over to www.allwrappeduppodcast.com to set that up. I've already got industry leaders that have already lined up set appointments. I'm visiting shops while I'm there. It's going to be a great experience. We're going to have a lot of content, a lot of information to be had at this event. So head over to allwrappeduppodcast.com to set that up. This podcast episode is brought to you by the 3rd annual Raps VIP on August 3rd at 8 a.m. in Long Beach, California, right after RapsCon. This event is hosted by the IBOW, Dub.IR, Rapper Mapper, with sponsors like Oracle, 3M, and Avery Dennison, and a ton more additional sponsors, networks, tools, and shops. Raps VIP is a totally free event. Guys, totally free. Come out, hang loose, talk about the industry. It's going to be a great time. All aspects of the industry are welcome and supported. So anybody and everybody, come visit. It's going to be such a great time, so don't miss out. They'll also be having a classic car show with wrapped vehicles from the 50s and 60s. And you know what? What's an event without a little competition? So they're going to have a die-cast car wrapping competition. I will be doing a live broadcast from the event, which would be cool. So come over to my table, hang out with me, chat. It will be totally live on YouTube. So head over to rapsvipevent.com for additional information, and make sure to check them out on social media. They'll be updating a few things on there, and the website will be getting updated as things progress. So please head over to rapsvipevent.com for additional information and sign up to attend this event. All right, with that being said, here's a brand new episode of Toolbox Talk. Welcome, I'm Jeff, your host from the All Wrapped Up podcast, and this is Toolbox Talk. All right, so we'll go live. We've got John Schurman from Luxe Auto Concepts. What's going on, brother?
How's it going, Jeff? Good to talk to you, man.
I appreciate you coming on to the show today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
On Taillight Tuesday, we're recording
this
episode.
That's what we're doing. Best day to record this podcast.
Hell yeah. Well, I want to get right into what you got going on for today. What type of projects did you have going on today at Luxe?
Oh, let's see. So today I actually was working on the lightwrap.com website. I got that about 90% ready to launch. We put 20 more sample orders in for tent shops around the country. I think I actually had one that's in the Caribbean, which is crazy. I told him I need to come train him personally. I want to see St. Martin. So yeah, so basically we had a guy, Kenzie, he's the Pharaoh on Instagram, came in, needed the taillight tent and the mid-smoke honeycomb. So it was actually a chance for me to train some new employees and let them watch the product be installed so that they have a good grasp about how it goes down. Even with me doing it, and one of my employees jumped in and did it, we had the whole job done in like 20 minutes.
There you go.
Start to finish. So really cool demonstration.
That's a pretty quick install for 2 taillights.
Yeah, 4 pieces total on the vehicle. 2 lights per side, knifeless tape, all 4 pieces. It's very quick. Very, very quick.
There you go. Well, I want to jump right into it. I want to know your background. How did you get into the taillight tint wrap kind of bubble?
Well, that's a funny story. So I live in a small city, Shreveport, Louisiana. I always wanted to make an impact in the automotive sector somehow, and wrapping has always been something that's kind of natural to me. Mm-hmm. So we actually started doing full vehicle wraps. We got a few fleets. They really helped us carry along, and doing Ceramic Pro, high-end detailing. We wanted to just be the best at whatever we focused on. Mm-hmm. So One day a buddy comes in and he goes, man, I've got this Dodge Charger and it just needs these things tinted out right here. These taillights, like they need to be tinted. I thought that was very interesting. And I have my background. I've painted cars. I've painted taillights. So I've always liked tinting taillights, but I've always been burned when I buy tint kits or pre-cut overlays from the internet. I mean, it's just so disappointing when they come in the mail. So, you know, I saw an opportunity with the Dodge Charger just because of the beautiful taillight design to make something that would not only look good, but I could add value where my competitors weren't. And like, I could help the customer out, just with simple things, you know? So we actually included an extra piece with our kit, and we went to CVS and bought alcohol prep pads and razor blades and taped them to a piece of cardboard. And that was the first kit that we sold.
Wow.
Just that. But it was with a dry application vinyl we had found. It was Vivid's first version of Air Tint.
Okay.
It was the best thing I could find for do-it-yourself. Like, PPF isn't made for tint.
Right.
And Oracal 8300 is not made for tinting lights. It's an interior signage product. So all these kits people are selling, they're with products that aren't made for what they're doing. So not only do you now have a do-it-yourself customer who doesn't know what they're doing, but you're giving them a product that's not optimized for what they're attempting to do.
Right.
So you always get these things in the mail and they have a big sheet of paper and you unfold it and it says, go buy baby soap, go mix it at this percentage, go get a bottle, go spray it here. And I'm like, I don't want to do a science experiment when I open this in my garage. I want to modify my car, you know? So
right.
In the beginning, it was just, let's make this kit to where when someone who's excited opens it up, they can do the modification and they can change the look of their vehicle and they can do it successfully and feel good about it. Not like they feel like they got sold something.
Right.
You know, I wanted them to purchase the win, the win, the fact that they did it themselves and it looked so good a professional could have done it.
Right. Well, setting up with the tools that they need and they don't have to go out, you know, from opening the package and be like, shit, I need all this stuff. Got to go to CVS, got to go to Walgreens, got to go wherever and pick up all this extra additional stuff. I think that in itself, as a DIY, is a great selling point where you give them a squeegee, give them a knife, give them a little microfiber or whatever in your package to help out.
Well, and funny you say that because now that was actually last October, November when we started this.
Wow.
Now you get a package with bar-coded pieces. They're printed on, they're labeled. You get a full-size microfiber, a squeegee. You get a prep bottle with the spray. And if you run out of the spray, we have a measuring thing on the side of the bottle so you can make more. Like, even every small component of the kit is now as much value. How much can we add to you? And, you know, people keep our little squeegees and they keep our bottles because they work great for decals you order off the internet.
Right.
So it lives beyond our product.
Yeah, and use it for other things. A detailing, throw a little detail, you know, wax in there or something. They can use it later on, which is great. That's
Absolutely.
awesome. And that's something you've kept up until now with the new stuff you're creating. You're still keeping that part of the DIY involved in the Luxe Auto Concepts do-it-yourself packages, correct?
Yes, and Luxe's could not be in a more exciting place. We're actually talking right now with lawyers at Ford, Dodge, FCA. They want to create graphics that we can install at the dealership so that they can sell. So we're actually licensing with major OEMs.
Wow.
So Luxe will not go anywhere. And we've started doing do-it-yourself vinyl kits where there's a wet layer and then a dry layer that embosses the bottom layer, then a top accent layer. But we build kits to where there are actually application tools built into the decals that let do-it-yourselfers put a 3-layer decal down and hit the alignment every time.
A lot of us Sun guys know the old school way of doing it with the crop marks and always having those on, and it's layer on top of layer on top of layer, and that was always hard for even, you know, the wrap guys or the sign guys back then. That was always a pain in the ass to do. But, you know, having the new technology, new material, bubble free, wrinkle free, repositionable, having that with multi layers, it's a win-win, man.
Of course. And I mean, and a big part of that is making the application spray for them. Because if you add 3 extra drops of soap, you might be too wet. So it's like,
Yep.
It's just so simple as that one thing, but it makes the whole formula work. And now customers are happy and they're loving what they're doing. And it got the attention of the OEMs.
That's awesome.
So that's crazy. But you're right. With light wrap, what happened is people were buying our do-it-yourself tint kits and they'd put one piece on and they may not be super happy with it. So they take our tint kit to an install shop. Well, you probably know from the industry, if someone brings you a piece of vinyl, you're probably like, I don't work with that. You got to buy my own vinyl. Like I don't work with eBay vinyl or Amazon vinyl. Like, no, we're not doing that. But what happened is, as soon as the customer left, the shop would call me and go, what was that? I need that. That's crazy. And so I went from selling to do-it-yourselfers to getting phone calls from install shops, wrap shops, tint shops, restyle shops, doesn't matter what. And they're like, we want this now. And so it was a natural pivot, and that's where we are today in starting lightwrap.com and breaking off the Light Wrap brand and supplying it to professionals all over the world. That's
incredible. And you come from the tinting aspect of the business, right?
No, I don't actually. It's funny enough. My background in automotive is kind of everything. My background though is 3D printing and creating new parts, advanced manufacturing. But my education is as a computer programmer.
Holy shit.
So I actually, funny enough, I worked in the 3D movie industry like Pixar, and I unwrapped 3-dimensional characters and had 2-dimensional artists paint on them. So that is how I know how to unwrap 3-dimension into 2-dimension. So we bought an $80,000 3D scanner and we 3D scanned taillights and I unwrap them in the software and then make a kit that goes right back on top of them.
Fucking mind-blowing.
So I'm using what I learned from a movie studio. We won an Academy Award. Now we go back and we start applying it to what I know now. And I build all my own websites. I do all the design. I do everything full circle, the whole thing, from tinting it to making the film to building the websites to doing the media to all of it.
That's insane. So how many people do you have involved now? Because you're just moving into a new facility, right? You're upgrading your space to accommodate more product, more people.
Actually, what we're having is we have about 2,700 square feet right now of office space that's shipping and production.
Okay.
We have another 3,300 square foot space on the other side of the wall, which we're finishing out to be a studio garage. So we can film our install videos. We can teach people how to use the product. We can host classes. We can have people come in and train on the product. So we're going up to about a 6,000 square foot space. 2 months ago, we had 3 employees. Now we have 10.
Wow.
We're going to look to hire another 10 right away. But you have to understand starting January, we started pivoting towards professionals.
Right.
Where the growth is exponentially higher.
Right. Other than selling kind of direct to a like a Feller's or a Metro, you're going straight to the consumer.
We were with Luxe Auto Concepts, yes. But the guys who modify their cars, they're not repeat customers. Usually. They are months down the road. Tinters are. Now, we are not going through Feller's. We're not going through Metro at this point because there's so much demand for the product that there's no reason to introduce one of them into the picture yet. However, we have some things up our sleeve that nobody has seen in this industry right now, and I'm not going to go super deep into that, but I'll tell you we have a new distribution scheme that worked for a massive international company, and they're interested in helping us repeat that with our product.
Oh, I love secrets.
Yeah, right. So we're really excited about that. I don't even know the potential that it could take us to, but we're in talks with them right now, and it could be very, very exciting.
And how soon could that be put in place?
Within a month.
Wow.
So
quickly.
That's in the US only. And then Q3 of this year, we should have European distribution, Australian distribution, and Middle East distribution locked down.
Okay. So basically now, as far as the brand itself, concepts out there, people buying stuff, how are you marketing this product right now? Is it, cause you've got a pretty good YouTube base, a lot of videos, a lot of people DIY filming it. other than social media on Instagram and Facebook, how are you advertising the product?
I'm not. It's 100% organic. Luxe Auto Concepts, we are very heavy with affiliate marketing. I have some amazing affiliates out there.
Okay.
Some of my best friends. I think that's one of the most powerful e-commerce marketing tools you can possibly use. And because we're in the automotive space, everybody wants to share pictures of their car. So if they tag me, I retag them. It goes viral. Everything just explodes. So we only spend marketing money on retargeting ads. That's it. That's all we do. And that's only to retarget our do-it-yourself customers. We don't have to market at all to our professional customers.
Okay.
None.
Okay. Are you planning on getting involved with trade shows or events to that nature that go whether they go window tinting trade shows or wraps, wrap shows and things of that nature? Are you planning on making that jump as well, or keeping it just organic?
Yeah. No, absolutely. As a matter of fact, now that you mentioned that, I guess I could tell you I did just secure a spot at a tint off down in Houston, Texas, where window tinters come and compete to see who can tint the fastest. We will have a major play there. Okay. We also do a lot of car shows because we're huge in the Mopar scene. So We Are Mopar in Dallas is coming up August 10th. We've actually negotiated with them a special way we have an install bay in the Texas Motor Speedway pit crew area where cars can come in and out and get tinted.
Wow.
So we have a full backdrop built out. We're going to have live cameras. I've partnered with 2 rappers in the Dallas area who will be doing the installs, and they can go on our website and pre-purchase kits and time slots.
That's awesome.
So once I figure that out, yeah, we're going to multiply that like crazy.
That's insane. So it's going to be just kind of like a mass production of taillight tint and headlight tint, just one after another.
Yeah, and people can come in with their camera phones. They can video it, film it. We're going to be shooting videos. I mean, because people are pre-purchasing our items, I don't show up to a car show with a ton of stuff. It's all gone when I leave. I've shown up to plenty of car shows and brought a lot of material and been like, this is a mistake,
Yeah,
So I'm trying to optimize that. That's my programming background coming out. I'm optimizing everything I can.
Right, but I mean, in the sense too, your pre-cuts, how many pre-cuts do you have up to date?
To date, God, say maybe, if you consider all the different shades, maybe 100, but I'd tell you 90% of our pre-cuts are still Dodge Charger and Challengers.
That's your biggest market right now.
Other than the professionals buying the tint, that is absolutely our best market.
Right. So there's 2 separate things going on where it's a DIY, and then the other aspect where they're just buying sheets and installing them and then trimming them. Right. And correct. Rolls. Okay.
Yeah, rolls predominantly now.
For the wrappers or tinters, where they don't correct. Have to pre-order anything. They just cut what they need, install it, ready to go.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people ask me, and this is something that, I mean, the pre-cut market, I think, is really done wrong, is that you can go to these other websites and you can find pre-cuts for almost every vehicle out there, but the fact of the matter is you need extra material to stretch around a light.
Right.
So that's why pre-cuts have such a bad name. I mean, you shouldn't even attempt the design. If I want to make a pre-cut for a Chrysler 300, all I'm going to do is make you 2 16-inch by 16-inch squares and sell you that as a pre-cut.
Right.
Because you still have to wrap the light.
Right. There's still more material. Because you always get those pre-cuts like just a smidge too short. And it just leaves you that 1/8 inch all the way around, and it just looks unfinished.
It's that 1/8 inch of frustration that just wears on you.
I can tell in your voice you're so mad about it. You found a niche and you've mastered it where it's more professional and it's more to your liking and how everyone else would want it. You know, you'd hate to buy a pre-kit and it be that 1/8 inch reveal around the whole thing. It's like, what the fuck? Like, they couldn't just give me that extra little bit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And a lot of that is in the way that they design their kits. They don't go out and buy a HandyScan 700. They don't have a 3D scanner and software to unwrap these shapes. But, you know, it's the investment. It was worth it to me, and it still remains worth it. It's proven to be worth it.
Yeah, you take the whole molding and making templates to like a whole nother level with the 3D printing and getting things real precise. Because for a lot of us making templates, it's a lot of masking paper and drawing on the masking paper and making template after template after template till you get it right. Where a 3D printer and you're scanning the thing in and doing, I mean, yes, does it take a little bit longer? Maybe, but it's 100% precise to the scale of the light. You get every little corner and aspect. How long from start to finish if you were to take a tail light? Let's just say like a Cadillac taillight for some reason, just because I know that one sucks. Because it's like literally a 90-degree up and over with a,
okay. CTSV taillight.
Yes. I wrapped one of those once, very long time ago with the Oracal, transparent film. Dude, it took me an hour a taillight to wrap. And I told myself I'd never do that again.
No, I actually have a video up of me doing a speed tint of one of those lights. And that was with our original version 1 film, which is nowhere close to our new film. And I think I had it done in about 8 or 9 minutes. It may take me 5 minutes now.
See,
one of those.
That little bit of time in the back end saves the time for the installer or the DIY person. That part where they can get it on and be happy with it.
Oh, of course. And like we were talking earlier, the, window tinters, they're the target market. They're the ones who get the phone calls. Do you tint headlights? A window tinter is all about how much more money can I make, how fast.
Yes.
A wrap shop is not necessarily like that. So tinters, when I tell them you can have that car pulled out and the next car pulled in by the time the Oracal guy's done one light, it doesn't matter. The time is money.
Right. Now tell me on your because you had mentioned version 1 and then your new version, which I would assume it's version 2. What was the difference between the two from then to now?
So version 1 was and you can put this is a modified version of Vivid's Air Tint. It was a specialized version. On their manufacturer, we went out, we had the technology changed as much as we could to optimize it for lights. But what we ran into is that it still has massive technological limitations, that the vinyl itself, no matter what, is going to shrink. And when you have little fins on lights or you have a valley like a Dodge Charger taillight, that will always pull up and turn into a bubble. It will always pull up. It doesn't matter how much Pro Bond you use. And you know this because when you pull the vinyl off, the adhesive is still there in that spot.
Right.
So it's obvious that the vinyl delaminated from the adhesive, bam, problem. So knowing that, I searched high and low, traveled everywhere, and finally came up with a United States manufacturer that was willing to take the project on, that could help us, and that can really deliver a product that I wanted to put in professionals' hands. Our version 1 product was fantastic, especially for do-it-yourselfers, because it had a ton of rigidity. The V2 product, actually, when we make do-it-yourself kits, we laminate it with an Arlon laminate made for box trucks because it's so flexible and it's so professional that it's hard for do-it-yourselfers. So we now have to modify the product to make pre-cut kits. Because our focus is now professionals. We now have a product that technologically is superior to anything on the market. I have no fear in telling you that. It's a pure cast vinyl. It's got a specialized adhesive for very complex shapes with repositionability. We've got a micro diamond air release pattern. It's clear. It's phenomenal. It's amazing for wrapping very, very complex shapes and staying there long term and not shrinking.
Right. That was going to be my next question is what's the stretchability of the media when applying heat? And obviously this is probably going to be not a blowtorch installation. It's going to have to be a heat gun installation. And no more using soap and water.
No soap and water, no wet apply. It's all dry. I use a torch a lot. But I would recommend a heat gun. As a matter of fact, it's also so pliable in 80-degree plus temperatures. Outside is great. So, okay. Its stretchability, I'm right in line with every other cast vinyl manufacturer. 30%, it's a max. I wouldn't really go that far. I try to keep it within 15 to 20. However, if you pull your stretch correctly, you can lock your edges down with a lot less stretch than what's over the entire face of the light.
Right.
And so you'll never pull back there. So it's all about the application. But as far as stretchability, it's as comparable as anything else on the market.
So the same process, a little bit of heat if you need it, apply it, post heat, everything at the end, just make sure every edge is locked and you're ready to go.
And you're ready to go. You cut just like you would a color change vinyl on the other body, and you wrap it around the light so you don't even have a visible edge. It's 100% wrapped. It looks totally OEM.
That's insane. Now you've got so many different not versions, but different color schemes as far as almost like a tint shop would have, where they'd have, 30% window, 40% window. Talk to me a little bit of what you have in stock that you sell on a daily basis.
So on a daily basis, in the light wrap base film, which we call the smoke series, we have a dark smoke, a mid smoke, and a light smoke. We found a lot of people are missing that middle smoke, and going to California and traveling all over the place, I found dark is just too dark. So our mid smoke is about 24% light pass through, 12% on the dark smoke, 45% on the light smoke. And we will have clear coming out. Clear is specifically made to be printed on, so we can make special colors and gradients and patterns. So our 6 base films are dark, mid, and light smoke, and they're all offered in a gloss or a satin or stealth shade. So that's our 6 base films.
Wow.
Now, with our 3 gloss films, we print on them or we laminate them to introduce our FX series. So the FX series film can look just like carbon fiber, but the light shines right through. It can look just like brushed metal, but the light shines through. You can use things like KPMF's Starlight over laminate and get a 3M psychedelic effect that is a tint. So in the darkness, it looks black. And then as soon as the sun hits it, bam, it's rainbow, glitter, crazy looking.
So that's mind blowing that now you're introducing and this wasn't really, a year or so or two, this was never a thing where these different laminates started coming out with, more flake in them or different colored, flake in the laminates to give the graphics a different hue and look. You're introducing that now with your taillight tint. It's like mind blowing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think you featured him, Kevin of PG NOLA.
Yes,
did you
Kevin
feature
Kempf.
Yeah,
I did.
Okay, so I drove down there. He's 5.5 hours away. I had to see the Mad Lab, and you walk in his space and you see what laminates can do to colors.
Right.
It blew my mind. And so now I'm like, well, why can't I laminate my product? And, I tried every other tint product on the market, and none of them really accepted the laminate well. None of them accepted the ink well. So because there's never been a cast vinyl tint product out.
Right.
But now, you could take it if you're a sign shop and you could print your company's logo or a Louis Vuitton pattern all over it. Or you could print whatever you want and then wrap the taillight in that. And the light won't shine through it if you have a white ink on your printer.
Right. Oh.
So you can gradiate light tint. You could have yellow fading to blue. That's why we call it Tintfinity. You can do whatever you want.
You can do it. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, especially with those customized wraps where, you've got these crazy colors, or even like a regular wrap where you can wrap over the taillight to continuously keep that design all the way through, and then still have the capabilities of using your lights. It's just
exactly.
That's
and
awesome.
Here's a neat thing I never thought of, but I did this the other day. I had a guy come in with a Daytona Charger with a satin black roof, and he had a big sunroof in the middle. We just put our stealth film over it. Now his sunroof is satin, and it matches his whole roof.
And he's still able to kind of see out. You
can see right through it. It's a little blurry. It's a little satiny, but oh well. You still get this look from the outside of the vehicle. It completely blows people's minds.
Yeah, how many people are actually looking out the out of the sunroof, anyways? And if anything, it's exactly. A little. And as far as like, now that you say that, now as far as heat, will that react to the heat as far as keeping the window cool as well? Well, does it react similar to window tint?
So I have a tint meter that they use at tint shops. It tells you your light transmission. It tells you your heat and your UV blockage.
Right.
It looks like it blocks most of the UV. I think there's a better way to tell how much light passes through than the same as the window tint. But I'll tell you, I wrapped my sunroof just to see if it would crack or if anything would happen. And so far in the Louisiana heat, it was 99 today. I've had no issues. I won't tell you I haven't put my hand up there to feel if it's any hotter.
Right.
But I mean, it's 99 degrees. My car's burning up anyways.
Right.
It's hard to tell.
Looking at it from a different perspective, God, you've opened up the window to Pandora's box
I have
now.
so many people, but here's a lot of people use our product on boat windshields or motorcycles because they're so curved.
Right.
And people don't look through them. You're not lowering your face on a boat looking through the windshield, a guy's using my product right now to do big skylight domes on a building because the skylights are domed. I mean, I'm learning. That's the cool thing about now having professionals use the product is I'm learning so much as to what they can do with it. The most exciting thing for wrap shops is chrome. It's not a chrome delete anymore. It's black chrome. You can create shadow chrome. You can create chrome that has the brilliance of chrome, but like a black chrome wheel.
Right.
And that's killer because it won't shrink. All the other little tint vinyls out there tend to shrink a little bit. So you end up with a bright chrome edge and that's unacceptable.
Yeah, you definitely can't use that at the end of the day. And I've seen that you used it on the chrome deletes on like door handles and stuff like that. It's just how big does a roll come if you wanted to purchase a roll? What's your biggest width?
So our biggest width right now is 20 inches. They come in a 75-foot roll, which is pretty standard for wrap film.
Okay.
We do have a 2-inch, a 3-inch, and a 4-inch roll available as well for chrome deletes specifically or for little side markers and things.
Right. And this comes unpunched, correct?
There is no punch whatsoever.
Punch. Okay, cool. Yeah,
no, those printers are dead.
Because the Oracal stuff, you could get it punched, you can get it unpunched. But
do you know anybody with a punched printer anymore?
Hey, they still make them.
Make them. Sorry. I'm not thinking backwards.
Oh man, it's when you've been in the industry for 12, 15 years, it's the old school stuff that comes back. With the cast or calendared stuff. It's just, these are probably questions that, if you are making a template and you have it in your machine, I know a lot of the 15-inch rolls still from Oracal, the 651 series, still come punched.
Yeah, they do.
It's just one of those things. But 20 inches, which will get you a pretty decent size for any type of taillight, and 70.
That's what I found.
And 75 feet or 75 feet, right?
Yes, correct. 25 yards.
Yeah, 25 yards will get you a boatload of freaking taillights.
Yeah, and I'm thinking because you take the film, like I'm averaging right now about a yard of vehicle. There are certain vehicles where that's obviously not the case.
Yeah.
But because the film stretches so much and because when you're installing it, you want to stretch it initially,
right,
you can get pretty close with your cuts.
Right.
Yeah, it's very important when you're laying the film down to get it as glassed as possible with that initial stretch because it is transparent. Anytime you pull more in one area than another, you change the smoke effect.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes a little bit more practice, but it's not difficult.
No, it's the same thing as if you were using printed media.
Very true.
You don't want to get it beyond that, stretch where it starts turning white or anything, or the color starts changing. Once you got that feel, I think you can kind of transition it to any type of application. Now, as far as the media itself, how thick is it? Without it's not laminated, more or less. The technology that you have is ready to go right from the box, but you have the option to laminate it. What's the thickness prior to lamination?
So prior to lamination, if you're getting one of the Pro Series smoke films, and you're going to get 80 microns or 3.1 mils.
Okay. It's kind of thick. It's not that bad.
It's not bad, but when you pull it off the backing paper, it feels so thin.
Right.
I mean, that's why we laminate it for our do-it-yourself customers. It's just unworkable for a do-it-yourselfer.
Right. And you said you were laminating it with the KPMF or Arlon? Arlon, right?
When we do our gloss or stealth film that we print on and cut for our do-it-yourself kits, that's Arlon 3270. It's specifically made for box trucks so that they don't sag when the sun hits them.
Right.
So it's very rigid until you hit heat on it. But when we're doing our FX series films that we sell to do-it-yourselfers or shops, I'm using any quality cast over laminate. And I think we use a lot of the 3M texture, like they're carbon and brushed. Mm-hmm. And then KPMF just has the most bananas looking laminates you've ever seen. So, you know, theirs are just killer. I mean, that rainbow starlight and their pearls and things, they're unstoppable.
Phenomenal colors. And the technology, man, it's just incredible. So after lamination and the product, you're probably pushing what, like 5.1, 5 mils, give or take?
Yeah, it depends on which laminate we use. So yes, that's the thing. And if you're going to install a laminated film, you got to think about not really now do you overstretch the vinyl, but do you overstretch the laminate? So, there's a little bit more factor to think about there. But most shops, most people who are buying the yardage and the rolls, they're just getting the straight 80 micron 3.1 mil film.
Right, not getting it pre-lammed. And now when you let's just say I wanted to call and say, hey, listen, I want the whole thing laminated. Can you print roll to roll or more or less laminate roll to roll?
We can. We normally say that if, our film comes in a 25-yard roll, that if you buy something that's laminated or printed from us, we're probably going to sell it to you in a 23-yard roll.
Right.
Just because we're going to have a little bit of waste on print, a little bit of waste on laminate. And you may get 24, you may get 23 and a half. If it's less than 23, we're not going to charge you for it. But if it's a little extra, you're going to get it with it. Most people don't buy a full laminated roll from us. Mm-hmm. And actually, I'll tell you this, that, our FX series film, we don't want to be those guys like Dragon Laminate and these other crappy films that they make a crazy looking thing like Oil Slick, and every distributor and everyone in the world just buys it up. And now nobody wants it.
Right.
And they're all stuck with it because it doesn't work. So what's happening is, let's say our dark smoke carbon fiber, for example. Right now we're taking our dark smoke and we're putting 3M carbon fiber laminate over it. Well, that's a very popular finish and we know it's going to be. So we're actually now working on manufacturing that as a dual cast vinyl with no lamination. So you'll get carbon fiber dark smoke at 80 microns at a price similar to a just base dark smoke price, not a laminated price.
Right.
So we're using our laminated films and selling them to the do-it-yourself market to know what's going to kick off. Then we're going to go get that manufactured.
Right. Which is smart.
And it's no one gets stuck with a boatload of film that nobody wants to buy.
Yeah. Test your waters first before dumping a ton of money into something that, may be a hot ticket for now, but you're looking at long term. At the end of the day.
Absolutely. That and carbon fiber taillight tint, it may not make you a ton of extra money on the job, but when you post that on social media and you start to market that, there's your return on investment.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Cause you just I got a guy did a Porsche Turbo the other day and all the lights are wrapped in carbon fiber and the whole thing's wrapped in carbon fiber. It's going to break the internet. I mean, that's crazy looking.
Phenomenal. It's just basically what, the customization shops, I think, are gonna benefit a lot from your product. I think, the color change, wrap shops, the commercial guys, you know what I mean? Where you can bridge that gap and have an extra selling, product to just upsell them on. Hey, I got this new taillight tint. Would you want to have it applied? It's going to be X amount of money. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
Just a great little add-on to a great sale. If someone comes by, gets a sticker. I mean, you're not going to stop production to do a taillight tint, obviously, but when the car's already there, boom, there's another $130 or whatever, it may be. And also too, I want to get into price point because I think a price point is really good. What is the price of a full roll go for?
So a full roll goes to an install shop for $425. That's about $17 a yard. It's a bit higher than an opaque color change film, but there's a lot more difficulty in manufacturing something translucent and the adhesives. However, if you take that and let's just say on an average Chevy Silverado, use 1 yard of film, that's 17 yards on the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Average price for that vehicle around the country I found is about $120 per pair. You have 10 to 15 minutes in the job total. So $17, 15 minutes. I can't remember. I'd have to work out that math, but I mean, your profit per hour is stupid compared to Oracal, where you're going to put $1.50 on the truck, but you're going to spend an hour 15 minutes or an hour 20 minutes or however long it takes you to do the installation.
Right.
So you definitely spent a lot less money up front, but you could have done 4 trucks in the time it took you to do the 1 truck.
Comparable to buying a cast wrap film and a calendared cast film. Which one are you going to spend more time doing, but which one are you going to spend more money on, but spend less time doing?
I know. It's funny. I get people that respond to my post on Facebook, well, wow, if he had the same price as Oracal, I'd buy it. It's like, well, if it was the same price as Oracal, it wouldn't have all the technology that makes it better than theirs.
Right. You're looking at durability. You're looking at profitability. Yes, I mean, God, what do we pay for a fucking roll of printed stuff? You're gonna spend, for 25 yards, 60 inches, you're gonna spend $700, $800, $900, but you only get 1 car out of that. But what do we try?
Start thinking of PPF. The engine prices are in thousands of dollars per roll.
Right. I mean, it's one half dozen of the other, but at the same time, $400 for a roll. You can get 30, 40 cars at $150 a pop. You're making your money back pretty fast and making a pretty quick profit, which is great.
We found that if when I was doing a calculation, if a shop bought a roll for $425 and they did nothing but Dodge Ram pickups, they should be able to turn that roll into about $2,400 bucks. So you're looking at $1,900 profit on that $425 investment, and you're moving fast.
Yeah, anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, and you're able to warranty these jobs.
So is the warranty done through you as a manufacturer? What is your warranty?
Our warranty is 3 years clean removability, 5 to 7 year lifetime. We've seen right now it's at a lab that tests all the OEM vinyls for Ford, Chevy, and all the American brands.
Yep.
They're running it through all their weatherometers. So we're still waiting on the really long-term results.
Okay.
But we can tell you certainly that you have 3 years clean removability, 5 to 7 years that it's going to last, I think longer. It's just like a good color change vinyl. And if you're an install shop and you put something on a car and it peels back, if someone sends me a picture, I always replace that film for them for that job. I want to learn as much from my customers as they want to learn from me. And even if it's a bad install, it just gives me an opportunity to teach them and send them more material and let their customer leave happy.
Right.
They may put in another 20 minutes. It's not going to take very long, but at least they don't eat the price of that material. And, the customer may have to come back one more time. But so far we've had no issues with the film bubbling up under the heat of the headlights some of the other manufacturers do. We haven't had any pullback issues that weren't related to overstretching. So far, we haven't had to warranty any film because the film failed. But we've warrantied quite a bit for installs.
Now, I did want to ask you, too, with the different shades and stuff, I know with the Oracal stuff back then, they had a dark and a light as well. What do you recommend? Because I always had this debate, headlight tint. What do you recommend from your product line to use for a headlight tint where you're not going to lose the light at night, more or less?
Yeah, so I keep my front windshield tinted on my car too. Not dark, 70%, but because of that, and I don't have a Hellcat, I don't have fog lights, I don't put anything on my headlights. If I recommend you do anything, light smoke is the first choice because you get 45% light output. Mid smoke is kind of the king. It looks murdered out, but you still get a lot of light.
Yeah.
We're finding that these lights are so bright with LED tail lights and with your high HIDs, your LEDs. All the cars have LED fog lights. I mean, you can you can kill the output of a car and still see 10 times better than a 95 Civic. It just is, the technology so much better. That's why I mentioned to you, I think I need to find a better metric than VLT or light output, because It's not like you're looking through a piece of tint at like a scenery. You're shooting light out of this thing.
Right.
So light, mid-smoke are a go. I don't think I would do any stealth films because it's satin, so it diffuses the beam. Same with carbon fiber, same with your metal tints. But still, it's a 10 times better than trying to use VHT spray or spray paint over it, because you don't know how dark you're going.
Right, because those are layers.
Those are layers, so how do you trust? And what if your painter he gets a run and he has to sand the run out?
Yeah, they go to headlight or tail light.
It's very difficult to know.
Yeah.
So at least we provide you with an option that has a guaranteed light output.
That's great. Now, if someone was to purchase your film today and they're looking for, that right amount of taillight tint and that right amount of headlight or side markers, which one do you see that's getting sold the most of that works for everything?
Well, mid-smoke is new. It's only existed for about a month. But its sales have almost matched dark smoke, which has been our number one seller over anything. People just don't, the light smoke, it sells. It's just not very popular. If you want to darken your headlights, you're just going to darken them.
Right.
But I think mid-smoke will eclipse both. And the reason is because there are states like California where if you have a black looking taillight, you're going to get pulled over. At least mid-smoke makes the red look very dark cherry red.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You still see the red through it. So I think that's probably going to be the most popular shade for everything.
The mid smoke.
Yeah. Okay. Whereas Texas, they're going dark all the time.
Yeah,
murder it out.
What's the legal? Do you leave that up to the end user to find out what the legal limitations may be for that specific product?
We do very much leave it up to the end user. We tell them. I do know from Louisiana where I live, if you have a rear reflector on your car, the cop has to be able to see it with his headlights on from 50 feet away. Even our dark smoke will reflect at 50 feet away.
Wow.
So it's so up in the air. I mean, it's one of those things where if they want to pull you over, they're going to use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
But you can get out and pull it off your car.
Well, that's, I mean, if every cop would be nice enough to be like, hey, listen, if you take that off, I'll rip up the ticket. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Yeah.
But it is one question I get more than almost any other question out there. And I've never had anybody send me an email saying, I got pulled over because of your taillights. I mean, and that's in 2 years of business. I have never got that email. I even have one of my best friends. We did his full taillights on his Mitsubishi Lancer, all dark smoke. He got rear-ended. And we were almost certain the cop was going to go, sorry, your taillights were tinted. You're taking all the responsibility. He didn't take any of it. The other car was at fault, even though his taillights were black. The cop didn't care because you could still see the light shining through. So I think it's a discretionary thing, man. But I will tell you, it's off-road use only. I have to tell you that.
Right. To just cover your ass.
Of course.
Which is fine. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do legal wise and insurance purposes, liability. It's the same thing they tell you when you buy chrome. Check with your local cities and stuff, because the reflection off of chrome could cause an accident or could you could cause an accident just by driving by somebody or whatnot. It takes the liability off you and puts it in the hands of the end user. Which I think nowadays, with the whole customization thing and, you've got people like California and being strict, even here in Massachusetts, they're starting to get really strict with, when you go to get your inspection stickers, are you able to see the reflectors? Are you able to see this, able to see that? And they've become more strict with things like that. So check with your local city or state and make sure you're able to have this product on. And like you said, it's off-road use only. But you don't have, if you're doing something dumb and you get pulled over and they want to add that to the ticket, then, you're getting pulled over because you know?
I mean, yeah, exactly. That's
being dumb
that's the whole
or
thing.
burnout or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? It's just going to be an add-on for them and adding more fuel to the fire. But
And I bet if you have taillights in on your car, you probably got a modified exhaust. You got it lowered. You know what I mean? It's just going to be one of the additional tickets you get. It's not going to be like
the one.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is freaking awesome. Man, is there anything else that you want to bring up that maybe we didn't bring up during our conversation or that I might have overlooked about the product?
God, I can't really think so. I'm just really excited to see, what professionals are doing with it. And I think if there's anything that people can suggest that we try it on, or that a new shade that exists or an idea, we're here to we want to do all of that. If there's a test I can run or something that has failed of another competitor brand, I want to run mine through the same test.
Right.
I tell people all the time that these big vinyl manufacturers, they have hundreds of SKUs in their system, right? I have one SKU. I have one focus. I'm not making colors. I'm not Vivid, who makes a ton of colors and a light tint. I make nothing but that. My focus is making that as good as it can be in every application. So I'm always game for, especially criticism.
Yeah.
Shoot me something negative. I want to know. I think there are some untapped markets and things we haven't even thought of yet. And, that excites me. It's a very exciting time.
It's putting it in the hands of the beholder and letting them just run with it and see what they come up with, the concept or a different laminate you didn't think of to overlay it or whatnot. I mean, I think that's just so fucking cool to throw laminates on stuff and to give it a whole different look, different everything. I think that's awesome. What do you have? I know I wanted to ask you one question. What do you have planned for the next year or so? I'd say future, but I want to maximize for the rest of the year. You know what I mean?
So I'll tell you, we only plan out 6 months in ahead because it's been so exciting and such a pivot. So we want to close the year out. We have with our worldwide distribution. That's huge, right? We've got to set that up. The big deal that I was talking to you about with the marketing, that is a massive thing. Other than that, we just have some really fun projects. We have a 1970 Barracuda that's getting a Hellcat motor that's going to be at SEMA in one of a couple of booths. We'll have we may not have a booth at SEMA this year, but we're going to have a hell of an exposure at SEMA.
Nice.
I've got builds all over the show that'll be light wrap featured. So that's going to be big. Really what we're going to do now is we're going to figure out how to play the convention game and the branding game the same way the big guys do it. So, that's what's on my plate for the rest of the year. That and finishing out this website and just really, like I told you, we're building out that 6,000 square feet for studio garage. It's going to be filming videos, tutorial videos. It's going to be doing educational things. The rest of the year is really about education and brand building and awareness.
Yeah, definitely. And such, with technology now and social media, YouTube, I mean, we've got everything at our fingertips, and putting that all out there for everybody to watch, listen.
Oh, it's amazing, man.
Yeah,
There's groups like Window Film Revolution on Facebook. That's 7,200 tint shop owners.
Wow.
Right there in that one group. And I come in out of nowhere, and all of a sudden I'm this knowledge base for something that they didn't even know how to solve. But it's amazing because through Facebook, I can make a couple of posts and everyone's eyes are on me or on the brand. And company owners didn't have that ability in the past.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that I can be in a little city like Shreveport, Louisiana, and be impacting an industry in a country or even a world. And it's all through social media. If there's one thing I could tell any shop owner out there is learn social media. I mean, you have to. You absolutely have to.
Yeah, definitely. Going viral could take your company leaps and bounds. Just one post, one video could just blow you up.
Yeah, and a little
overnight.
Inspirational story there was the very first product we ever launched, that Charger taillight kit I was telling you that sold with the CVS pads.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned the website on the night of the 4th of July. and a guy named RP Productions on YouTube launched his first video. And that was the first time I sat in front of my computer screen and made $1,500.
Wow.
And I went, whoa, like affiliate marketing and YouTube and going viral is unreal. I mean, yep. I've wrapped a whole shuttle bus and made that, you know, like,
that's insane.
And so through then it's go viral. That's the number one goal. Go viral, go viral.
Let everybody that's using the product post the pictures, repost them, share their videos. You know, in a sense, that's free advertising for you at the end of the day. Once you have a great product in that sense and everybody is like talking about it, man, it's the best feeling in the world to have some type of product where somebody else is creating content for you that isn't asking for it, that just creates it because they believe in the product and they want to share it with everybody. And I mean,
well, and I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. Just 2 days ago, a guy texted me from Houston, and he did one of the new Maserati trucks. What are they called? Like the Levante or something?
Yes.
I don't have any of those in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm not gonna get a Maserati truck to tint, but he did.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
And that's so cool because I'm like, man, people are using. I mean, I've seen Maseratis where all the chrome was done in black chrome,
right?
And it's just so cool because that's what I wanted to do. That's my passion. I love that, and I'm not doing it with my own hands. I'm not personally there to enjoy it, but the feeling of gratitude and of just amazingness and like, wow, proud. It's multiplied by all these people showing me things, and it's the best feeling ever. It just pushes me to make it better, better, and better.
Yeah, it must be humbling, man. That's awesome. I mean, I definitely believe in the product. I mean, this was a huge opportunity to have you on the show and promote it because, man, I know we've been talking for quite a while to set this up. But I'm a huge believer, huge fan of the product. You know, even coming from old school, using the Oracle stuff to now the technology you've created to make things easier, faster, efficient, and to make, you know, to be profitable for any type of shop, to add this to their arsenal of products and services. This is a no-brainer, man. I love it.
Well, I hope so. And we have every tool that we can think of to help you get on board. So, you know, they can contact us through through the Light Wrap website, Luxe Auto Concepts website. The number is 1-888-752-LUX. We have Michelle. She answers the phone. We'll send you samples. We'll do anything we can to help you learn how to use the product. And then if you buy the product, we'll market in your area for you and try to sell it for you.
Wow.
Like, I use my marketing experience. So the first time someone buys a roll from me, I boost a post in the area and I try to market them for them. You know, it's not like you're just buying from a distributor. We know this is a new thing, and especially for tinters who don't know how to use it. We're as invested as they are in figuring out how it works for them.
Yeah. Who does that though? You know what I mean? Like you go above and beyond to help people that are buying your product and help promote them in their area. Like you don't hear that from anybody. Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of that?
I don't know, but it just makes sense. I'd be pissed if I bought some stuff I didn't know how to use, and you know, I mean, I don't know.
You got no way to market it.
It's valuable.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a huge value, and it's very marketable. I mean, nowadays the taillight tint is a huge thing, and you breaking the barrier and making the material better, like we needed that. And you've done that for us, and I love it. Well,
that's awesome. It's very humbling. I appreciate that. It's good to be validated.
Yeah.
Especially when you step out and you do something super crazy and people in Shreveport are like, what are you going to do with your life? You know, like, you're going to make taillight tint vinyl? Isn't that illegal? That's the number one question. It's like, you don't understand. And, you know, it's a fantastic market to be in. The automotive space is amazing. Everyone is so great, you know. I love everybody I get to talk to.
Definitely.
So it's I've made friends all over the country and hopefully all over the world soon. It's a blast.
Oh, it's definitely gonna happen, and I hope to help spread more awareness for your brand and your products, man. Because like I said, and I can't say it enough, I'm a sure believer in the product and where it's going, and being someone that is always looking for the next best thing, the next upsell. This is a perfect opportunity to make a little bit more money in what you're already doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, if you pick it up first in your area, you're going to be doing the highest quality headlight and taillight wraps in the entire area, faster, cheaper. Nobody can compete until they pick the product up.
John, dude, absolute pleasure having you on the show, man. I appreciate you sharing your story and really
thank you so much.
Really talking about your product, man. I'm like I said, and I can't say it enough, I'm a huge fucking believer in this product, and you've changed the industry of taillight tinting.
Well, that's amazing. I didn't even know there was an industry for that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
No, but thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be a part of your guests. You've had some huge names. I'd love to meet all of these people, but just to be on this is very, very humbling. I thank you so much.
No, thank you, brother. I really appreciate you taking the time out and talking to me for a little bit. Let everybody know again where they can get all information about your product, social media accounts, phone numbers to contact you direct if they have any questions, all that.
Right on. So if you're a do-it-yourself customer, you're interested in any of the pre-cut kits, or you just want to see how that whole system works, luxeautoconcepts.net is where you want to go. If you're a professional and you're looking to pick light wrap up in your shop, you want to be a distributor or just get more information on the base product, lightwrap.com is where you go. Our phone number is 1-888-752-LUX or 5893. You can call that. Michelle will most likely answer, but you can ask to speak to me or anybody else. We're growing our support team by the phones. That's the number one thing. So maybe a little hectic there. But as far as social media, Luxe Auto Concepts, Instagram, and YouTube accounts are going to be the hot spots. Instagram is where I'm reposting everything my customers send me. My YouTube, I have installation videos on light wrap on multiple vehicles, so you can go get tips and tricks from there. And we're constantly creating new media, especially for the professional space.
Love it. John, absolute pleasure having you on the show, brother. I wish you well and your team well for 2018, man.
Awesome. Can't wait to be back.
Thank you to everyone for tuning into the podcast, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to the 3rd annual Wraps VIP event in Long Beach, California on August 3rd. Make sure to head over to their website at www.wrapsvipevent.com for more information. And thank you to all our listeners. If you liked our content, share it. Give us a rate and review. Till next time, folks, that's a wrap.